I started off with a company called Shapoorji Pallonji, and I moved to corporate training for the simple reason that it gives me that adrenaline rush, it gives me that motivation, it gives me that kick, or you can there could be 100 words which I can say, standing in front of the audience and delivering for the simple reason that I've been a theater person. So I've been doing theater, Hindi, English, Marathi,
Wow.
predominantly English and Marathi over the last few years. I have trained with the likes of Nasiruddin Shah, Padma Bhushan Nasiruddin Shah, if I may say so. I've learned a lot from Nasir Bhai, and I think that all catapulted me to take up somewhere I can be with the people, and I can do something exciting. I can do something creative, and that's how there I am. That's how this whole journey of last 14 years as a trainer, and prior to that, 3 years as a technocrat, standing on a construction site, wearing a yellow helmet, and enjoying that part as well. So that's about it. If you look at
Okay.
any performance, that's it. If you look at any kind of a theatrical performance, it is all about teamwork. Now the thing is,
Yeah.
I was not only an actor, I was also a director. So I always thought I was adding a lot of value by bringing people together, by building high performance teams. I mean, that's how it happened. And then it becomes a wonderful performance. So
So
why not deliver what you have already been doing is what I thought in the most humble way. And that's how I landed with my profession as a
yeah.
corporate trainer.
So,
To answer your
Girish,
question.
for all of you, between Girish and I, we were debating about two topics. One is impactful presentation, and then there is another topic about how to use drama and acting for community activities, something like that. Girish, do you want to just give us a glimpse of it? That what exactly do you do in that respect? Maybe we can get you some other time to cover that as well.
Oh, yes, I would love to. First of all, sorry I quickly jumped with my introduction, but big warm welcome to all the leaders of Inner Circle. Thank you, Sudhindra, for inviting me. But yes, what I would love to say that theater is something which is a metaphor. It's a metaphor for real time, living. It's a metaphor for real time scenarios. It's a metaphor for role plays. There are so many things that can be done, and it absolutely takes away the pressure on your mind. In fact, today I'm going to do an activity towards, with your permission, possibly towards
Oh,
the end of
that,
the session. The only thing is I won't be able to see the audience's reaction because I can't see their videos. I understand. That's where the whole format is. But I'm going to do it, and that's where we'll possibly see the magic of theater. So it eases out a lot of pressure. It teaches you how to become not only a actor but a spect actor, which we call as a spectator. That is, not
okay.
only you participate, you also learn how to bring the nuances.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
So we'll talk about it later.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Thank
So,
you.
Girish, the topic at hand, what would you call an impactful presentation?
Okay. Uh, First of all, a presentation that answers a very, very simple question, which is always there in the audience's mind: what's in it for me, or why do I care? That is an impactful presentation, according to me.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, what you are doing right now. You started off with the mind map. What you did was you followed three simple principles of an impactful presentation. Is you start off by telling the audience what you are going to tell them. That's where you had the need for inner circle, and who is there, what's going to happen today, what's going to possibly happen in the next subsequent session. So you tell the audience what you are going to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is you tell them, that is, you actually deliver the presentation. And number three, which I think many of us at times, not that we don't want to do it, but we miss it out, is summarizing. Just tell them what you have told them. So for me, if these two things are missing, the presenter might be amazing, he might be a brilliant speaker, he might be an eloquent speaker. For me, I will say, as long as the audience is engaged, as long as the audience gets answered the most important question, what's in it for me? That's a brilliant presentation. That's an impactful presentation. As for me.
Yeah, very, very true, Girish. And like you rightly said, we sometimes, watch some very eloquent speakers, brilliant speakers who use high-flying words and, and are very impressive with their tone and language and body language, and body movements, everything. But at the end of it, we don't remember what they've said, and that wouldn't qualify as an impactful presentation. Is that right?
Certainly, certainly. Because if there are no takeaways, like I said, if you don't summarize it, yeah.
Okay. The
Sure.
the next question I have is
Like this.
yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead, Sudhir.
Yeah. So the next question I have is, depending on the presentation, depending on the situation, the audience would be different, the context would be different. Sometimes the topic would be different. So how does one adapt? It can't be, one trick that you use everywhere. So how does one adapt while making presentations? As a presenter,
Yes, it is true. One jacket fits all.
Yeah.
One jacket fits all. That common saying. It is also applicable to impactful presentations. Sometimes the audience changes completely. Sometimes this kind of interface, which like now this is the new normal. People like me are never used to these kind of interfaces. To be very honest, when this pandemic and everything happened, I never imagined that I would be conducting sessions using Zoom or Google Meet or possibly Microsoft Teams or whatever the tools or whatever resources are available. So first is you'll have to bring about that mindset change. For that, I'll give a simple word. I believe that sometimes it's the acronyms that work well, which is what I've observed during my training career so far. Is let's remember this word CARM. I'll send the full form to you. I'll send the details of the acronym to you. Possibly during the next part of the session, I'll post it on the chat box as well. So remember CARM. We all remember CARM. We all know how to play it. So that's what it is. Adapt yourself. Yeah. C stands for be a little creative. Can I be creative even in an online environment? The answer is yes. I can be creative if I really want to. Be contextual. Set the context right. That's what we discussed. What's in it for me? Otherwise, लोग बोलते रहेंगे तो मैं नाचू क्या? तू तेरे दुनिया भर की तेरी कहानी सुना रहा है, तू बता रहा है उनको कि यार ये ऐसा हो गया, मैं ना बचपन में था, मैं इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में था, तब the third year I got this, I got that, so on and so forth. People are least interested in that. Set the context right. Second, your attitude. Your attitude matters a lot. If you start speaking as if from 30,000 feet above the mean sea level, it's not going to work with the audience. Many times, the audience should feel that you are approachable. You're one of them. So, your dressing, the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you, use your body, the way you use your palms and things like that. These small little nuances will matter. The third is the relevance. Is it really relevant? Is it up to date? The fourth is research. Have you really done research about the audience? It's very, very important before any presentation, be it a client presentation, be it an internal team meeting, be it any kind of presentation, extremely critical to do research. That's where and these days, I think we are spoiled for research. I often believe that years before there was no YouTube, we really had to pick up books and we really had to read through those books, and that made so much of sense. Today, everything is available at the click of a button. But then, are we really doing that research? Are we really making it relevant to the audience? Are we really making it realistic to the audience? So that double R can be relevant, it could be realistic, it could be research. Ask yourself these 5 W's and 1 H questions. I'm sure you must have spoken about it, or possibly you can talk about it later. Then it is all about being original. Let us not copy anyone. I know there are some brilliant speakers and YouTube is flooded with so many videos. Let's be original. Let's be organized as well. If my presentation is at 10 a.m. IST, let me make sure that by 9:30, I'm there in the room. I am organized. I know where I have to stand. I know I've taken my position. I'm going to use a simple technique. I'll show you something which I often use. Here it is. Is till the time you're not used to giving presentations. I hope it is seen on the screen, on the camera.
Yes, we
use these post-it notes.
Okay.
Yeah. Write down the main pointers on the post-it notes. Write it down and keep it. This is known in the language of presentation. This is known as palm cards. Palm cards. Till the time you're used to it, because it fits into a palm. Write down the main pointers that you would like to tell, or which you would like to discuss, or which you would like to facilitate. So that's about being original and being organized. Even for an online environment, Sudhin, I think extremely important to log in at least 15 to 20 minutes before. the start of your presentation.
Yes.
Because you never know, the video might not work, the audio might not work. There might be some problem. Might have to figure out like the way it happened right now. So be organized. And last but not the least, the M. The M stands for meaningful. Is it really making sense to the audience? If it's not making sense to the audience, you're gone.
Very true.
If I can share an example, I think without a little verbose, I'll just share an example. I was appointed as the lead facilitator for Sakal Media Group, and I had to visit the length and breadth of Maharashtra. I had to travel across the length and breadth of Maharashtra.
If I'm
and
right,
give presentations.
Marathi Media Group, right?
So I had to visit various, these villages or hamlets and these semi-urban centers, and I had to give presentations about one of the Sakal initiatives called Kanishka. We were discussing about this, so add one more to the list. So we can say carom, and maybe we can add one more to it. That let's call it carom board. B for board is have a backup always, because my dongle just. So, isn't that amazing? As if it was to be discussed with. I gave a live demonstration. Anyway.
Yeah, just one one thing to check, Girish. The first the alphabet, that is C, is context or creative?
It could be context. It could be creativity as well. So C stands. I'll repeat it again. C for creativity or context.
Mm-hmm.
A for being humble. Being humble or being absolutely amongst the audience. You have to be with the audience. You can't be above the audience. You are there because the audience is there. That you start with the thought that this is my first ever presentation. Even if it is your 100th or 200th or 300th presentation, start with the attitude that this is my first ever presentation. Okay. That's why attitude. So A stands for attitude. R for relevance. We discussed about it. R for research. Doing the research about your topic. 5 Ws, 1H. Asking the right set of questions. O for being original, not being a copybook. There's no point watching a lot of Sadhguru videos or Gaur Gopal Das videos or Sandeep Maheshwari videos. They are brilliant. These all are brilliant, eloquent speakers. I have great respect for them. But find out what suits you the best. What applies to Peter doesn't apply to Paul. So being original. M stands for being meaningful, and add another B. Board. B for board. Please ensure that you have a backup. Otherwise, you can land in soup.
Yeah, I put that in the chat box. I'm going to put you in a spot now. And I know you must have learned this and developed this acronym based on a lot of experience. So can you tell us about one story where things didn't go wrong, where you didn't follow this and maybe messed it up? Success stories, there would be lots. We would like to hear some failure stories from you.
Okay. I'll tell you what, the biggest enemy of a presenter or the biggest enemy of a leader, I would say, Sudhin, since this is an inner circle leadership group, is complacence, being complacent. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to name the session, but I was supposed to conduct a program called, which was faculty development program, or what we call in corporate training parlance as the train the trainer, TTT. Mm-hmm. So I went there with my attitude that I've already conducted close to about 50-100 sessions, and I being a theater person, I give a lot of importance to rehearsal. Rehearse. Practice.
Yes.
So normally I have a routine that 2 days before the session I'll go through the content once. I'll ask all sorts of questions and all of that. That didn't happen that day. I just went there. I had just traveled from Bangalore the previous night. I said कि यार कल सुबह उठूंगा और देखूंगा मैं जो भी करना है और ये क्या अपन ने तो कर लिया है. I've done it at least 50 times. And I went there, I delivered the session, and trust me, the kind of feedback which I received from the participant was not about funny. And trust me, it pinches even today. It makes me realize it more. It brought me down to level 0. And I felt that, okay, I need to start from scratch. And that's where I learned this. This was my biggest lesson, that every presentation is a new presentation. You better go back to the drawing board and start preparing. It was one of the most horrible feedback that I ever received in my life. And this was as recent as some 4.5 years back.
Okay, so you were what?
So it
Already
has happened.
10 years into your role as a corporate trainer, and yet this happened. Wow.
Absolutely. Because that is where you tend to become complacent, isn't it? Like you are a marathon runner, since I know you well. If you don't practice, if you believe that, okay, I depend on, if you rely on your past laurels, that, I've ran at least almost all the marathons under the sun. And if you go to the next marathon without a single day of rehearsal or practice or whatever you call it as, I know the contexts are completely different. I know the example is analogous in the sense that you can't go without preparation. You can't go without rehearsal.
Yes.
And I was blank. I could not even answer the basic questions. And I'm not just saying it to, make people feel that, okay, he's talking the truth or something like that. It has literally happened. I considered that as a biggest lesson. Okay, bhaiya, go back, start, prepare, make your notes, keep all these things ready, and only then go when you're well prepared, is what I've learned from this overall
Actually,
exercise.
Girish, along with preparation, there is also a lesson in humility here. You could so easily probably, have dissed the people and said that they were useless or asked the wrong questions, the venue was not good or whatever else. But instead, you looked at yourself and found out where the problem was. And I'm sure, that must have helped you immensely in your future presentations. Wonderful. That's a very important story, Girish. Very important for all of us.
Thank you.
The next question I have is, these days you mentioned right at the beginning about, getting used to the online format. How do you differentiate between online and offline? Because most of us have been used to the offline and now we are getting to online. And soon, hopefully, when things get better, we will have to do both. So, how do you differentiate
Yeah.
as a presenter
Uh,
in terms of your preparation, your delivery, or whatever else?
Yeah. So there is this one more additional, resource which needs to be added to your checklist as a facilitator, and that is uh, being internet ready or being online ready. So making sure that your background is up to the mark. The basics of any Zoom meeting. These days, you find a lot of these do's and don'ts of how to attend an online session and things like that. Having the right kind of backup, having that presence of mind. Like, for example, see, this is bound to happen. It was raining outside. I don't know, for some reason. It's like kind of Murphy's Law. My Airtel dongle did not work. It has never happened in the past few days. It just happened today. Murphy's Law. Take it. However, please be mentally prepared that things are going to be different in an online environment. Like, for example, right now, uh, I am going to do an activity. Like we have discussed earlier, that we are going to do an activity, an interesting activity.
Yes.
And the problem is, had it been an offline session, I'm sure I would have seen all my audience and it would be great fun. Now, what I have done is I have attuned my mind to the fact that I believe that I'm on a stage, and that helps being an actor. I'm on a stage, and there's a fourth wall between me and the audience is right there. I don't need to worry. I just need to look into the camera. I can see there are 30 people there. I can see Tanmay Parikh. I can see, Pallavi. I can see Suruchi. I can see Sudhindra. I can see my partner Abhijit, and thank you, Abhijit, for joining. I don't know if NK Nandakishore Sharma has joined. Ladies and gentlemen, Abhijit Pune is my business partner. So thank you, Abhi, for joining.
Everyone just.
So I can see all these.
And then.
Yeah, I think he's there.
Yeah, he's there.
And NK Nandakishore Sharma, if he's there, I don't know if he's joined. So I think that's what it is. I can see Sudesh. I can see everyone. It's just that it's a mindset. You'll have to change your mindset, and you need to be. If your energy levels are at 100 for an offline session, I think your energy levels need to go up to 120 for an online session.
Very true.
The problem is we are in a virtual world. As long as I don't speak the language which my audience understands, I don't really make a conscious attempt to interact with the audience, which you have been doing, Sudhin, quite well. I've seen that. You're trying to ease them out. You're trying to make them comfortable.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's not going to, because then it will become difficult.
Very
as far as offline presentations are concerned, I think it's very, very simple. You follow Karam board. You follow all those nuances that I spoke about. It's done. When it comes to an online session, make sure, don't go with the fact that my audience are not there in front of me. They're right there with you. It's just that there is a fourth wall in between, which is this laptop screen from which I'm speaking right now. Just break the fourth wall, and I think you will be all set. Just to answer your question.
Very.
Otherwise, I don't see much of a difference. Honestly, I don't see much of a difference.
On a lighter note, I am worried that whenever I have to do an offline presentation, I'll ask people to type.
Might just happen. Might just happen.
Okay.
Might just happen.
You were talking about the exercise that you want to demonstrate. Can you go ahead and do that? Would you like to do that right away?
Yeah, of course. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. I'll have to adjust my camera a little bit. No, in fact, let me do it this way only. I think this is better. Everyone in the audience, Sudhin, now I'm going to follow you. Everyone in the audience, say yes if you are ready for what I call as an energizer. If the audience is ready, please type yes in the chat box. Super. See, Sudhin, I learned the art. So this one is called as the Box Factory. I love conducting it. I have a great time doing it. We are going to do the Box Factory. All of you, please join me in the Box Factory. So repeat whatever that I'm about to say. This is one of my favorite, and I always keep on doing it. And again, I love it. And it works brilliantly in an offline environment. Otherwise, I would have loved to see all of you. But post your comments, post your reactions after this. Sudhin, you may start your video. Others, of course, we can see them, but you can start your video.
Okay.
Yeah. So just repeat the words and action. Just follow the words and action, whatever that I'm about to do, and do it with enthusiasm. Do it with full josh. We are here to give impactful presentation. So let's start. And Sudhin, now you are my audience.
Okay.
It's all about you, between you and me.
Yeah,
so here we go. So repeat everyone. Please make sure that your family members are in your room so that they also come and they see what's happening. Okay, here we go. I found myself yesterday. You can repeat after
yesterday.
I found myself yesterday.
I found myself yesterday.
Near a huge box factory.
The huge box factory.
Running around the building. Come stand up. All of you, please stand up at your location. Running around the building.
Running around the building.
There was a picket fence this high.
There was a picket fence this high.
I walked up to the factory.
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 Pushed open the door.
Pushed open the door.
And found myself. In a. Hallway. At the far end of the hallway. Come on, Sudhi. We are not yet there. At the far end of the hallway.
Oh my. At the far end of the hallway.
At the far end of the hallway, there was a spiral staircase.
I found a spiral staircase.
I climbed the spiral staircase.
I climbed the spiral staircase.
And found myself. In a room full of boxes.
In a room full of boxes.
There were large boxes.
There were large boxes.
There were medium boxes.
There were medium boxes.
And there were small boxes.
And there was a small box.
Suddenly the boxes came tumbling down.
Sorry, I missed that.
Suddenly the boxes came tumbling down.
Suddenly the boxes came tumbling down.
I woke up. Yawned.
Stretched.
And went back to sleep. Thank you, Sudhir. Thank you, audience. I hope you
Wonderful,
enjoyed.
wonderful,
If you
wonderful.
have
Just
enjoyed it,
awesome, awesome. Just
okay,
type
super.
Super Girish. Just type Super Girish, everyone. That was a wonderful demonstration. I've never done anything like this before. Definitely not in front of the camera. And this is going on YouTube, like I had promised you. And I don't know how I did, but yeah, I think I'll be an embarrassment, but still, it'll go. But wonderful. That was just wonderful, Girish. That was awesome. Yeah.
Thank
Can
you,
you
man.
just
Thank
give
you, man.
us
Thank you so much.
give us the context of the exercise that you made us do and how it helps in making an impactful presentation?
Very simple, Sudhir. Let's go back to the script again. The script said, I found myself yesterday near a huge box factory. Running around the building, there was a picket fence this high. I walked up to the factory, pushed open the door. So if you look at this, I was stressing certain words. Otherwise, I can show you the script. I can't show it right now, but I'm stressing on certain words because sometimes there is something called as voice modulation which is required in a presentation. You know, otherwise it becomes very mundane. It goes flat.
Flat,
If
yeah.
if there is no what we call the technical word which we normally use, you can type it in the chat box. It's called prosody. Prosody. It's like speaking without voice modulations.
Prosody.
Yeah, prosody. So it's speaking without these modulations. It's like speaking in one tone. So if I have to give you an example, there was this series on Star Plus called A Small Wonder. Yeah, prosody. It was there was a series called Small Wonder, and there used to be a robo in that. The robo's name was Vicky. I still remember the series. So Vicky used to speak in that same monotone. If I'm going to speak in the same language throughout my presentation, then all of you are going to fall asleep. So sometimes what happens is we have presenters speaking only in this kind of a tone. It doesn't go well with the audience. So there has to be some sort of voice modulation. So Box Factory helps you in that. Number one. Second, since this is a leadership circle, this is an inner circle, and we all have these aspiring leaders like you and me. We all are part of this group. So what happens is something brilliant, which is like you are crossing all the barriers. If you again go back to the script, it's like I found myself yesterday near a huge box factory. I pushed open the door. Then there was a long hallway. So normally when we say long hallway, it means there was a barrier. So I crossed the long hallway and then I climbed the staircase and there were large boxes, medium boxes, small boxes, etc. And then I'm using my body language. The third most important thing out of the box factory is my body language. So I'm using modulations, I'm using voice modulation, there's a script, and it's great fun because we do it in a group. I mean, I had this experience for the first time that even if I can't see the people, I can sense that people were also enjoying it at their own
Yeah.
places. That's the reason precisely, Sudhir, why I said is honestly for me there's no difference between online and offline session. It's just a myth which we have created. So it's a group activity. It's like you're working together with the group. Just to give you the reason behind this. And normally in corporate training parallels, these are known. I mean, if there are any corporate trainers in the group, they might agree with me. These are known as energizers. It is basically to energize your audience. It's like a presenter telling a joke. So instead of that, you make them do an activity.
Okay.
Just to answer your question.
Okay.
That's the whole context of the box factory.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Very deep. And no wonder you're such a successful trainer and coach, Girish. We got a very good demonstration of it. I just don't have to tell people that he's a great trainer. Everyone could see it. Just awesome, Girish. We will all remember this always. Girish, there's one question I have, is what would you term as a bad presentation?
Well, there are a lot of don'ts which people have, they have observed over a period of time. Like I said during my earlier interaction, when there was one question which you asked about impactful presentation. A bad presentation to me is when it is completely out of sync between what the audience is expecting and what you're delivering. That's one. Too much dependence on PowerPoint presentations. Sometimes I find it really funny. I feel like telling people, look, folks, PowerPoint is a tool. it is not the end of the world. People are very good at making brilliant PowerPoints. Then they end up watching a lot of Steve Jobs videos, which are amazing, by the way. He was a brilliant speaker. And they follow all the basics, that the PowerPoint should not be too texty, there should not be too many words on it, there should be only visuals and things like that. But the problem is, people read through those slides. People read through those slides.
Correct.
You know, they are reading the slides.
Yes.
So the question remains, and the audience keeps on asking this question: what's in it for me?
Oh, looks like Girish's screen is.
So that's one thing which is there. Second is,
Sorry,
I don't know for
your screen froze for about 10 seconds. Can you just repeat that point? Just we missed that last one or two sentences.
Sure. Yeah. Sorry, the internet connection was unstable, so I just took a pause. So basically, what I was saying was, people, I think at times we get a little nervous about our language skills. This is something which one of my master trainers, Mahan Tawakoli, he was basically from Israel, from Tel Aviv, and he used to speak broken English. But let me tell you, I have never come across such a brilliant trainer. One of the most brilliant. My accent may sound a little vernacular and all of that. I'm talking about some 15, 16 years back when I started training. So he said, don't worry, Girish. Language is a tool. Don't worry too much. He said, I know a lot of people who, I'll try and, mimic Mahan. So Mahan said, I know a lot of trainers who don't speak good English. Who do not speak good English, but very good trainers. So basically what he meant was, it's your content and it's your intent as a trainer which really matters. It does not matter. Even if your language skills are just about okay, I won't say you really need to learn the basics of English, no doubt about it. But even if they are just about okay, don't bother too much. Just go and present. Because sometimes people get a little too conscious. One of the bad presenter qualities is standing a little stiff. Stand too stiff while they are presenting.
That's just poor body language.
Relax. Yeah.
So content and intent, very important.
Yeah, part of body language. Then content and intent, and this is what happens. You know, we quite often use our hands. Speaking too fast. That's a typical Indian trait. Speaking too fast. So how do you cut down on that? There's a simple technique which I learned. There is something called as the lighthouse effect. It's called as the lighthouse effect. What do you mean? Why is it called as a lighthouse effect? The logic is very simple. It's like a lighthouse which spreads across all the directions. So when you feel you're speaking fast, you can make it out from your audience's reaction. Just give an eye contact to everyone in the audience and practice it next time, folks. All my friends out here, and you will see that your speed automatically goes down. Simple. So some of the qualities of a bad presentation.
Makes sense.
Since you asked this question.
Very, very valid point. People, we are running out of time. If you have, I have one last question, but before I do that, we can take one question from the audience. Anyone, any questions, or we can go to my last question. If you have a question, just type it up in the chat box. Yeah, I think there, I don't see any questions from the audience. In case of online presentation, what points to cover? Yeah, Girish, you want to take that? That's from Smita.
It's a very nice and a very interesting question. For online presentation, just follow these 4 simple things. So then maybe you can post it on the chat box. Number 1, especially for an online presentation, don't ramble too much. For an offline presentation, you can set the context. You can start with a story. You can start with an anecdote. You can start with a quote. So quote unquote or whatever it is. When it comes to online presentation, straight away come to the point. Number 2 is don't clutter your slides. In case you are using PowerPoint slides, don't clutter your slides with too many facts and figures. Because the attention span anyways has reduced from 11 minutes now to 3 minutes. That's the latest statistic which I got to know from one of my colleagues last week. So it has come down to 3 minutes, Sudhin, and that's the reason why these days even people don't watch videos which are more than 3 or 4 minutes. They just they just swipe it off. They just move on to the next video. It is a fact. So make sure not too many facts and figures are there. Whatever you want to present, if there are too many facts and figures and which are important, please send them before the presentation. Please send them through an email or some other medium. Send them a docket, send them a small little note or something like that before the presentation. Number 3 is speaking too fast. We covered that point. So look into the camera or generally use this technique, pause, fart, punch. Use this technique. It automatically reduces your speed. Number 4, pause. And number 5, summarize. Pause. Wait for some time. When you have made a point, wait. It is not required that much. It is not prevalent that much in an offline presentation because it is easy because you can see the audience right in front of you. For an online presentation, always good to pause. Wait for those pauses. And last is, make sure that you summarize. Follow that rule. Definitely follow that rule for online presentation. Tell them what you are going to tell them. Tell them which is the actual presentation and tell them what you have told them.
Okay.
Okay. Can I take Amar's
Get
question?
it right in the chat box?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there's one more question. I think we can take that as well, Girish, which is from
I can't.
Amar.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Amar. How will you know you are doing a fine job during presentation or you're missing the connect with the audience? How do you understand
Connect
that?
with the audience.
Especially in online.
Very online, Sudhin, in this kind of a format where you are right now, it can be a little tricky at times. I think the only way to evaluate, I mean, folks are not making any assumptions out here, leaders, but the only way you can evaluate is the audience engaged? Or the simple sign in an online presentation is you start off with a certain count of people, you know how we look at it, and then suddenly the count, it starts diminishing over a period of time. That is one of the quickest or easiest ways to identify. Okay. In an offline environment, Amar, the easiest way is you will see that people are attentive, people are not moving, they are listening intently to you, and it is an interactive session. But you are asking questions and people are answering your questions. Okay. If you feel that suddenly there is drop dead silence in the room, it is the right time to take a break. Just take a 1 minute break. I mean, if you have the luxury to take a break. Okay. So if it is a 5-minute presentation, just wait for some time. Do something else. That's where presenters should have all these tools. They should have these tools in their saddle, which are like using games and energizers and all of that. Yeah. Third is you will find your audience is up to something. You can make it out from their body language. See their eye contact. See their eyes. It is the easiest way to gather whether you are striking the right balance.
Or maybe
the fourth is
into the
they don't
phone.
Exactly, or they are looking at you. That's the easiest way. In an online presentation, from my experience, I've learned that generally I ask people to keep their videos on. If I'm going haywire, if I'm going off chord, or if I'm discord, then suddenly I find that the videos have stopped. And see, it's very easy in an online presentation to tell people that my video is not working, and you've got to believe it. You have no option but to believe it.
Yes,
isn't it? So basically, these are some of the tips. Okay. Otherwise, I think it's your gut. Finally, it's your gut feeling. You can make it out whether the audience is engaged or whether you have lost your audience.
Very true. Yeah, and very well said, Girish. I have one question in closing. That is, this is an inner circle. This is a leadership group, all aspiring to be great leaders. What is that one advice that you would like to give to our entire community? You've been into training and coaching for a long time. You've seen the world. So what is the advice that you would give to us?
I am also a member of the inner circle. I'm also an aspiring leader, and I'm also learning the gift of the gap. I'm not being humble, but to be very honest. But I would say that I'll go with this small little quote and see if it makes sense, Sudhin. It says, good, better, best, never let it rest. Good, better, best, never let it rest till your good becomes better and your better becomes best. So just keep this in mind. Your last performance was your last performance. Go back to the drawing board, start preparing. And passion. I think these are the only two qualities which I believe, very in all humility, I believe that every aspiring leader should have. Go back to the drawing board, start doing it again, and that's about it. That's all I can say. And passion, yes, of course. Never lose your passion.
Yes, yes, yes. Wonderful, Girish. Just to quickly summarize, like you have taught us today, is that the point that you made is to begin with every presentation, you should tell people what you're going to tell them, and then finally you summarize. Then you talk to us about the CARM acronym. You explained that in detail. You were humble enough to tell us about your own failure, about how you went unprepared and messed up training. Then, yeah, the box exercise. I mean, that I will never forget for a lifetime for sure. And I'm sure the rest of us will also, not forget it either. You talked about bad presentation. What are examples of bad presentation and tips for online presentation? And finally, preparing with passion. It was wonderful talking to you, Girish. An amazing experience. All of you just type PTY Girish. Power to you, Girish. It's just amazing. It's so nice of you to have joined us today and really, really wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.